back.
Welcome back
Welcome
to
back.
the Probate Hero Collective.
Right, I'm Ray.
I'm Gary.
Right, welcome
this is,
back.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Yeah, yeah.
We're making headway.
Hey, we're almost at a half dozen.
Right.
That was what we wanted to get 6 of these things in the can, and
Yeah.
we're almost there, man.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
We're chipping away, and the great news is we're just sharing everything we're doing
Yeah.
and how things are coming along. And today we got a great episode. Another one for
Another one for you. Last week we talked about more in depth of our door knocking, our road show,
Yeah.
and how that kind of went about in more details.
And they can get clips on that.
Yeah, those clips are available
Right,
all
of us
over,
actually out
social
there.
media and YouTube and all that kinds of stuff.
Yep.
Today,
We're
we're going to talk about the most recent road show.
Yeah. Out door knocking again.
Door knocking, the Modesto, Stanislaus County area.
Yep.
Man, did we have a number today? We
We
had
did.
13 appointments today.
Yeah, 13, and then we also had to make a drive 2 hours away to the other one.
Yeah, we had to
just
head out
close.
to a little town called Dos Palos.
Right.
I sold a property out there. We're closing right around Thanksgiving. I had to
Right.
go out there and do my agent avid
Yep.
and have a handyman fix a few things. So we got that done, and I was able to meet the client. I didn't
Yeah.
meet the client yet.
You've talked to her for a year.
For a
and
year.
It was like you've seen each other in person. It was like,
She
oh
gave
my
me a
God,
hug.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you've helped her through that process.
Yeah.
And that was a long process.
It was a
but
long process.
You hung with her. You always made her feel secure, and she
Yeah.
appreciated that because that one was a roller coaster.
It was
right?
up and down. She started off pro per with no attorney.
Right.
Then she
Mhm.
brought on a paralegal who messed
Mhm.
everything up. Then she had some difficulties with some heirs in the
Right.
probate. And when we were getting to the point to sell the property,
Yeah.
there was so much animosity going on
Yeah.
that I said, hey, I think it'd be really helpful if I refer you to a real good attorney that I know
Yep.
who can take this whole mess
Mhm.
and get everything straightened out for you. Are you
Right.
open to that? She said, yeah. So I connected her. And today when I asked her, how's it going, with
She
the attorney,
appreciated
she
it.
said, oh, he's so great. I said,
Yeah.
I told you. Yeah.
Right.
So-
Well, that one was a year process, but the overlining factor is you stuck with her, you helped her through the process, and that's what probate's about, right? It's really sticking with the estate, helping them through the process, giving them options, helping them navigate through that, and that was a great testament that that's
Yeah.
exactly what you did.
Yeah, she's
So-
happy. And, something that I should mention is with all of our probate clients, once we sell the estate home, we're not done with them.
Right.
Those clients who we've successfully helped navigate
Mhm.
the probate real estate sales, they just become past clients. And
Right.
they go on to our past client drip system.
Right. And referrals.
And we'll get
yeah.
referrals and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's this, you can work probate just like you work any other aspect of real
Absolutely.
estate
Yep.
with follow up and
Mhm.
farming and marketing. It's all this. You
It's
can
all-
implement any. You can put any system that you're using in your business now,
Yeah.
and you can apply it to probate.
Yep. Absolutely.
The difference is, and I mentioned this last episode,
Mm-hmm.
separation.
Separation. Yep.
That was the highlight of last episode. We got
Mhm.
into how to position yourself
Mhm.
and create that separation without having to say, I'm the expert, I'm the specialist, I'm this, I'm that, but by demonstrating.
Well, and that's a great segue to talk about today's episode about the doors we did hit, who we talked to, how it went, and how we handled being at the door, knocking at the door. So let's just we'll just take it step by step. We'll kind
Yeah.
of talk about each one. So the first one we went to, we knocked on the door, right? And nobody was there. So it was like, okay, we knocked a handful of times, right? Stayed
Remember, in your mind, when you think no one's
a
home,
few more times.
knock at least one more time.
Yeah, and we did that, and then we just left, right, a postcard or information, a little note on the postcard, and then that was that, and we moved on.
Move on to
this
the
is
next one.
part of door knock.
We're going to
Someti-
follow up.
Yeah.
Hey, we were at your door, whatever day it was, at whatever time.
Yep,
We left you some information. Did you happen to get it?
right, and we'll follow up next week. So
Yeah.
this is part of the process. If they aren't home, which sometimes they're not, leave something of value and also leave a little note
Yeah.
that you're leaving this and you'll follow up, the few
Not,
days.
don't just leave a business card.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
have something,
Mhm.
like Ray said, of value that they can look at.
Right.
All those things add up and they fill up that bucket of separation.
Absolutely.
Eventually, you want that bucket of separation overflowing.
Right, right.
Right?
Absolutely. And again, this is just part of the process, right? Calls, letters, door knocking. So this is just another day we're sharing with you. So this next one was actually a great one because this was an estate that we called,
Mhm.
right? And we spoke to the gal, kind of give information that, well, not sure if, gonna sell, didn't give the email, which no
Yeah.
problem.
Little indecisive.
Yeah, and said, is this a number I can call back, right? The number we called from. And it was like, absolutely. So that was that. That was earlier this week. And basically, this is part of the area that we were going to be knocking.
Yeah, we were in a 5-mile radius.
You're right, right.
Give or take.
13 doors, right? All in the area. So we basically knocked on the door. Nobody's answering. Knocked on the door. Nobody's answering. Knocked on the door. Nobody's answering.
Getting ready to leave.
I said, you know what? What's our rule? One more
knock.
One more knock. And we did. And so all of a sudden we hear somebody, walking around in there and we hear a dog, barking, comes to so the door kind of cracks open. A lady answers. So we knock on the door and we ask for the personal representative, which was the administrator. And the lady kind of looked at us, well, that's my daughter. I was like, oh, okay, well, great. What is your name? Gave us her name. Said, look,
I'm the mom.
of the mom, right? And we just said, look, we had a conversation with her. This is who we are, the estate. And we were in the area. We just wanted to stop by, give something of value. And also, right, just so you put a face to the calls that may be coming in. But, and she goes, well, my daughter's 22. So, well, and thank you for letting us know because we would prefer to speak to you and what's going on. And then she kind of had her guard up, but then she did ask about the process, and then you went through that.
What happened was, the conversation was kind of sticking and moving a little
Right,
bit.
she was just a little standoffish,
which is understandable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, we expect that.
Right.
All right, but I'm doing two things. I'm listening. I'm waiting for a question. There's specific questions that I'm waiting to hear, or I'm looking for an opening where I can interject something that's going to result in question
Right.
that I'm already prepared to answer.
Yes.
So what ended up happening was she said, well, we have a lot of interested buyers right now. We don't know what we're going to do.
That's right.
And
She did
Ray
say
said,
that.
oh, we're not buyers.
We're not buyers. No.
Well, what do you do?
There we go.
Ray turns to me and I said, well, we handle real estate that is specifically going through probate. Selling real estate during probate is a completely different process.
Right.
Than selling real estate in general. And I know that there's some agents out there that say otherwise, it's escrow, it's that. Yeah, I get all that. But to get to that stage, it's a completely different process, right? So I explained all the stuff you've already heard on other episodes. Disclosure exemptions, certain probate documents required to close, all that stuff, again,
Right.
stuff they're hearing from the attorney.
Right. Well, right. And then she was engaging.
Now she's engaging
She's
us.
engaging. Right.
Now we're conversing back and forth. It's fluid. And she got a little bit more open. The door opened a little bit more. She got a little bit more comfortable. And then the conversation just started going.
Right. Absolutely. And then it was just like, what she wanted to do. And then she divulged the information that, there's a lot of expenses that need to be paid, and I need. I'm going to have to at some point.
They knew they're going to have to.
And
sell
we
the
said,
house
well,
at some
here's
point.
just some information. It's no obligation. We just wanted to stop by, so that way, if you're getting voicemails, you know who we are, right? You put, and then at that point, she was very receptive.
Oh, yeah,
right?
she was
and then kind
great.
of opened
Yeah.
the screen, and
Yeah.
we said, hey, here it is. So that basically is the extra layer that gives you an advantage when you go to the door and you have that intelligent probate conversation that now when we do call again, it'll be more receptive.
Yeah.
Right? And the QR code on the postcard,
Yep.
there's some information.
I explained to her when Ray gave her the postcard. I said, hey, there's some great information on here.
Right.
If you happen to scan that QR code, that's going to take you to a video where you're going to see me.
Right.
And
Be like,
you're
hey,
gonna- I know that guy.
Right.
You're going to be able to watch this video. It's about 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I just cover from start to finish the whole process, the logistics involved when you're going to sell a property
Right.
during probate from the estate's perspective, like what you need to be prepared for, what you need to kind of get ready for.
Right. And then when it gets to that point where she's ready to sell, excuse me, then we're going to lay out options.
Right.
Option A, B, as we've been explaining, right, on the other episodes, because again, you always do what's in the estate's best interest.
Right.
And whether it's selling it open market, cash as is, no fees, but we didn't even get into that conversation.
It wasn't
because
time yet.
there's no reason to. She's not ready, and we're just giving information on the process.
Right.
Right. So that was a good one because now, right, like I said a second ago, that she will see who we are. And
Right.
That's what door knocking is about.
Yeah.
Getting out and really out there. I say hustling.
When
but
the
you
administrator
are.
says, "Mom, Ray and Gary called me again," Mom's going to call us back.
Absolutely. So that was that one. And then the next one we went to, right, we get to the door and I'm ready. Well, we were going to knock on the door, but then what did we see? We see a sign that said no soliciting.
No
So
soliciting.
at that point, it was like,
Everybody does it differently, right?
Right.
You may not care, all right? I try to
follow the code.
I just try to follow
Yeah,
the law,
that's what we
follow
did.
the code. This particular individual
No
doesn't
sol-
want anybody coming to their door, whether they're offering landscaping services, house cleaning,
Said no soliciting.
whatever it is,
Mhm.
even though we're not there soliciting, technically we are, right? Like, why else are we there? We want to sell the house. So instead of getting into all of
We
the
just-
legalities of everything, I just make it a rule. If that sign's there, I just respect it.
We didn't leave anything.
Didn't
We
leave
just
anything.
Kept moving.
We just kept it pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a decision, a business decision that you can make if you do see that sign. Us typically, there's tons of business, and again, we're not here to upset anybody. If they don't want nobody at the door, and there's a sign that says it,
Yeah.
then we're not going to.
What are they going to think of us if they have this big no soliciting sign?
Well,
and they
these
come home
guys
from
don't
work
listen.
and
what
we
are they-
leaving stuff at the door. Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to be very fond of us.
So
right off the bat.
we just moved on.
But we're going to keep calling.
Oh yeah, we'll keep calling. It's just
Yeah.
we're not going to door knock, but that's part of the process. So the next one we did was actually, this is a great one. This is the ring.
Oh yeah. This was a first.
So this is a first. So we get to the door. It doesn't look like anybody's there. We knock on the door. There's a ring doorbell. So okay, what the heck? We push the ring doorbell. We're sitting there. We're kind of talking amongst ourselves. All of a sudden, we hear,
Hello, I'm not home.
we're looking around, looking in the window,
Like, was that you?
and we're having a dialogue through the ring door.
Yeah, we're waving and smiling and
And
talking.
she's asking us questions.
Yeah. She was asking us why we're there, which I love that question. So we got into that, and then she said, "Oh well, I don't have my court date until whatever the date is." Oh yeah, we know we have that right here. You know, we're not here to talk about the house. We're just here to talk about
Right.
what we do, how we can help you, and if you're planning on selling the property, this information right here can point you in the right direction. We're going to leave it for you. There was this frog statue. Remember the frog?
Yeah. We'll just.
We're going to leave this right here by the frog statue. You're making light of it a little bit. And she laughed. She said, "Okay, thank you." That was it.
Little presentation to the ring
But
camera.
through the Ring app, she's seen our faces. She's going to know who it is, who's calling her when we call her back. Hey, did you get the information we left next to the frog? Yes, I did. Okay. Did you get a chance to check it out? No, I didn't. All right. Well, here's generally what it says.
Yeah, and that was exactly it, right? When we heard that, it was just like, yeah, it's Ray and Gary. We left a couple messages. Not sure if you got them, but we were in the area, and that's when she kind of was, oh, okay, I think I got a few messages. Well, what do you guys need? And then we kind of got into that.
Yeah.
We left it by the frog. We'll follow up, and we'll see where it goes. But
So we call that one frog.
the frog,
That's the frog.
Okay.
But this is the hustle, guys. Just like how you would work any other type of real estate.
Right.
All right. Even if you're working expireds, you're calling expireds, you're sending expired stuff. You should be door knocking expireds.
Well, let me just interject, right? This system right here works for any type of lead source.
That's right.
Expired, somebody that wanted to sell, it expired, right? For sale by owners.
So the reason why Ray's saying that is you're probably already doing a lot of this activity in your regular real estate business.
Right.
So it's not reinventing the wheel.
No.
Right? It's just going back to the last episode, teaching you the probate aspect of it,
Right.
so you can create that separation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So, but yeah, that was a great one. And this next one was actually a real good
Oh, that's a
one.
really good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one that I had a conversation with the administrator. And so we get to the house. There's some cars there, so we know somebody's home. And all of a sudden, we knock on the door. We ring the doorbell. A gentleman answers. Now, when I spoke to the administrator, it was a female, the spouse. And so when the male answered, I asked for, is Mr. So and so
Mm-hmm.
available? Because the last thing we want to do is ask for the female's name, and two guys are showing up.
Right.
That
Yeah.
don't really look. So you got to vibe the situation. So we politely asked for Mr. So and so. He goes, yes, that's me. How can I help you? Kind of a little standoffish, which I get. Two guys showing up. We said, look, we spoke to Mrs. So and so, had a conversation, and this is about this and that. We just wanted to stop by. We wanted to give some information. He goes, oh, yeah.
Then he
thank you
became
guys.
real receptive.
Yeah, because at that point, this specific administrator was like, yes, we need to sell. Thank you for the call. We got her email, sent the information out. She's actually looked at all the stuff on the back end.
Yeah.
So,
She's looked at the emails. You
Right.
can have email receipt. We've seen that. She's seen our emails.
Yep.
She's reviewed our probate
Mm-hmm.
real estate resources guide.
Yep.
We can see that. And she watched the webinar.
About our next one. This one was the garage sale.
Garage sale.
Garage sale.
This is called the garage sale deal.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we're going to our next appointment, and we're turned down the street, right? And we're looking for the address, and then we see a bunch of people hanging out in the garage and having a garage sale. Can't really see the address, kind of drive by, right? We're looking for it. We're like, oh shoot, it looks like it's back that way. All of a sudden, we pull up, right in front of the garage.
Right in front of the garage.
And that was the address.
That was the house.
That was the address. Like, well,
Like
we're
six
getting
people there.
out.
Yeah.
6 people. No turning back. So you
Yeah.
have to get out. Right? And we got out. Oh, God, what do you guys sound? Try and break the ice. You got any golf clubs?
Yeah. First thing I said, you got any golf clubs? Nope, no golf clubs. Like, oh,
Right,
okay.
right. And they're definitely kind of sizing it. Well, they were sizing us up. And we just said, look, we're here as Mrs. So-and-so here. Yeah, who are you guys? I said, well, we've left a few messages. We talked to her a while back. We were in the area.
She came out of the garage.
She did. She did
Yep.
come out of the garage. She goes, how can I help you? And she seen kind of who we were, and
Mhm.
we just kind of went through our, basically what we did and who we are. And then they kind of started having that conversation. Oh, okay, right. Started putting the guard down, started asking us questions, and started asking about probate and the process, which you kind of definitely were
I
starting.
explained all that, and you've heard me say that many times on
Yeah.
our podcasts here on that spiel.
Right, right. And there was a lot of them. So on that specific one, it was good because they got to see, like I always say, who we were, right? We were giving them something of value, right? And then they asked us, remember, wow, okay, well, what's your guys' fee? So that question is the key,
That's a key question.
right? And you said, well,
I said, our fees, we don't have a set fee.
right,
What we do is we bring the estate options.
right.
And based upon which direction is best for the estate, what option you choose, which is
Right.
best for you,
Yeah.
our fee schedule
Yeah.
coincides
guys wanna
with that
do.
option. You go on the market at full retail, there's a fee. If you go on the market as is, there's a fee. If you just want to be done with it and sell it off
There's
market,
no
you don't
fee.
pay any fee.
There's
And
no
their
fee.
eyes kind of lit up. So anytime you get ask that question, what's your
Yeah.
fee? You've won them over
Yeah.
with the separation part. Like you've gained
Right.
that trust that they know what you're talking
Well,
about.
they were asking a lot of questions regarding the process, as you've been explaining. You kind of navigated all of that. You've answered their questions, and then, like I keep saying, the key thing with that is they got to see us live instead of a voicemail. And I've probably left her maybe 15 messages. Right? I'd had a conversation one time. It was receptive, and then at that point, I've been leaving messages. Just hasn't called back. That's fine. They're not ready, but we were in the area, so we stopped by, and that's what we did. And this
Yeah.
is what this process is.
Right. That's the garage sale deal.
That's the garage sale. So we'll be following up because it sounds like they want to do something,
Yep.
and now we're going to explore options with them. So that one, right?
We've already demonstrated our value to them. We've already demonstrated that we know exactly what we're doing. We've already started filling up that separation bucket.
Yep.
I showed them the QR code.
Yep.
Grandma was already scanning it while
Yep.
we were standing there.
Mm-hmm.
So all the flags that were going up were all checkered flags. They were all
Right.
good flags.
Right, right. And that's just part of why you're getting out there, why you're out door knocking, is because you need to demonstrate to the estates, the personal representatives, that who you are, right? Live person, and always giving them something of value,
Mhm.
right? That's what it is. So this next one was also another great one. This was a gentleman that I've had a handful of conversations. At first, well, didn't give the email. We always ask for an email. That way we can send them valuable information. Didn't want to give that, which is fine. Send me a text, no problem. We did that. And this one was, well, we're not ready. It's this or that, right? So this was another one that was in the area that we were knocking. So it was more or less like a ranch property, right? We're driving. It's more of a kind of going down a dead end. And as we're driving, there's a long driveway, right? It's one of those type of properties. Like, well, got no choice, right? We got to keep moving. So we drove up in the driveway. Garage is open, and a lady came out. I'm assuming the wife, right? It was the wife, and she come out. Yeah, you guys, can I help you? You guys lost, right? And we said, well, we might be. Kind of broke the
Well,
ice.
I told her that when she
That's
came
what I'm
out.
saying.
Can we help you? I just
said-
came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're lost."
broke the ice.
She smiled. She laughed. She
Right.
knew we weren't lost.
Right. I mean, obviously, we were a sore thumb, right? We're in the car, we're in the caddy.
You had to go down a big
We're in the
driveway. We
caddy.
pulled right in.
Yep. Ranch type of home. But nevertheless, we asked for the Mr. So-and-so, the personal representative, and then he comes out. And then at that time, it was kind of like, right, sizing us up. And we said, look, it's Ray, it's Gary. We've talked on the phone. I know it's been some time. It's you and your brother. I gave him information that he was letting us know. That way he know, oh, yeah, I did talk to these guys. Well, I just wanted to put a face to the voice. We were in the area. We just wanted to give you something of value and kind of stop by, say hello. And I know you're not ready and how things going. And then that's when he kind of opened up and he started asking questions with, what is...
Yeah, he asked.
Right?
He asked what we do.
What we do, and we
And
explained.
We explained. Well, we only handle probate real estate. We handle probate real estate.
And
all
he was
58
sizing
counties.
us up, though.
Yeah,
I mean, he was
was.
asking questions, and you were quick on the draw. And that's the thing. You can't hesitate in these questions, right? Well, what do you mean I don't have to give disclosures? Well, I thought I have to.
So he asked that. When I told him that we only focus on probate real estate,
Right,
that selling a home in probate is different than selling a home just in general.
right,
He asked, well, how?
right off the bat.
Right off the bat. I said, well, when you're selling a home in probate, when you're selling a home, there's seller disclosures that
Right.
have to be furnished to the buyer. In probate, you're exempt from a number of those
Yes.
disclosures. Well, which ones? Well, are you familiar with the transfer disclosure statement? Yeah.
TDS.
Well, the person who understands all the info about the
Mhm.
property, all the material facts, is deceased.
Right.
So you're not inclined to
You're
have
not
to fill that out.
required,
You're not required to do that. You're exempt from having to provide that.
Yep.
The natural hazards disclosure. Typically, in a real estate transaction, the selling side will pay for and furnish
Right.
and provide that
NHD, which is
disclosure.
about $100
Yeah, $100
report.
bucks.
Not a big deal, but the seller,
They're exempt
the
from
estate
it. That
doesn't
falls
have-
on the buyer.
Right.
Smoke detectors. Probate does not have to replace smoke detectors.
Right.
That falls on the buyer. They do have to replace carbon monoxide detectors. There's
Right.
no earthquake guides. There's no Melrose guides. I went through the whole list of all the exemptions.
Right.
He was impressed.
Well, and
And-
he kept the conversation going
Yeah.
just by answering that and having those answers.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, and there's also additional probate specific documents. And this is where
Yep.
most real estate agents fumble. There's specific probate
Mhm.
documents that have to be included in escrow.
Mhm.
Oh, well, what are you talking about? And I'm loving these questions because this is where I get to create some
The
separation,
as you've been saying.
demonstrate my knowledge, be a
Mhm.
show me agent, not a tell me agent,
Right.
and start explaining to him things that I knew
Mhm.
he was already informed about by his attorney.
Right.
Certified letters, notice of proposed action, 15-day expiration.
EIN number for
Yep, for the estate bank account,
Yep.
the federal tax statement letter. Went
Mhm.
through the whole gamut of things, and I knew right then that we now have this guy's trust. He believes that we know what we're talking about.
Well, and then what did he ask? What's your fee?
What's your fee?
And that right there is another telling, that they're interested.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
you basically explained like you just
You've
did the
already
last one.
you've already heard it.
You already
right?
heard the answer. That's
we
what
don't have a set fee.
Right.
We have options,
Right. We just laid that out for him.
and we associate the fee based upon what option is
What
best for the estate.
That's right.
Right? And we tailor our
Mm-hmm.
approach to whatever option you feel is the best direction to go.
Absolutely.
We tailor our approach and our fee accordingly.
Right. And I think that right there, us showing up, us giving them information, you explaining all that very detailed and very, true, right? Transparency. That's why that dialogue, that conversation kept going. And then, right, when we were leaving, it was, by the way, what is your email? Right? And then he said, oh, you need my email? No problem.
I was telling him about a webinar, recorded webinar
Yep.
that I talked about on the roadshow
Mm-hmm.
that is directed at administrators and executors who
Right.
are considering selling real estate during
Informative
probate.
information.
And I explained to him that this just gets into more detail
Yeah.
of what you can expect and what to prepare
Right.
for if you decide to sell the estate home.
Right. Right.
Gave us his email address.
He did. He did. When before just phone calls, didn't want to give it, which is fine. That happened, right? So when we were able to show up, demonstrate the knowledge, right? That's when he opened up more and gave that. Now, if and when he does decide to sell, we just want to be an option
Right.
by the valuable information that we're giving him. And again, he's not obligated to work with us. We're just two guys, right, that another source, but we want to demonstrate that we are the best option in our
Yeah.
opinion, right? to help them.
My father came up in the conversation.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's right.
they were able to learn that my father built a 40-year probate
Yep,
real estate
yep,
business, and for
absolutely.
25 years traveled the United States teaching
Mm-hmm.
probate real estate to
that's
other
who I learned
agents.
from. Yeah, my
Yeah, you
mentor.
taught him, taught me.
Mhm.
And my father used to always say that 95% of the real estate public
Mhm.
doesn't really know intrusively
Mhm.
how to handle a probate sale.
Right.
And we explained to this probate prospect that a lot of agents are aware that you can obtain probate information from the courthouse because it's public record. And
Right.
his wife chimed in and said, "Oh yeah, everything's public record." And
Yeah, we're getting so many calls.
Yeah.
And is that why? And
I said, "You guys better put together a trust." I said, "Oh, it's in the works right now." So another
yep, you
bucket
gave
of
valuable
separation.
information. You
Yep.
explained that.
A lot of real estate agents.
They don't know what they're doing.
My father always said that when he was training thousands of agents, he
Right.
says most of these agents have no clue about probate.
Right.
But a lot of agents understand that there's a lead source there because it's public
Yeah.
record.
Mhm.
So when they're calling you, if they're not talking about what we're talking about right
Right.
now, you're just another name on a call sheet.
Right.
They might have called an expired before you,
Right.
or a FISBO or whatever,
Mhm.
and they're just calling through their leads, trying
Right.
to drum up business.
Right.
Right? That if anyone's calling you and they're not talking about what we're talking about right
Mhm.
now, that's a tell that they probably are not super experienced in handling
Right.
probate real estate.
Right. And as you see these examples that we're giving and the doors we're hitting, it's just always giving them information. So at that, when they are ready, they can make a very informed decision on what's best for them. And then you laying out options, which we have for them and you always, always, always do what's best for the estate. We just keep hammering that in, right?
Yep.
Right. So that was a great way, and we'll follow up and we'll see where that goes, right? So
Usually, I would say 95, 97% of the time,
Mhm.
when we get asked the question, "What's your fee?" and then we go over the options,
right.
we end up getting the deal.
Right, right. Because again, it's value that you're bringing to the estate, right? And you have to demonstrate that to even have your foot in the door, to even have these opportunities. And this is what it is: letters, knocking, text, follow up, showing up. I mean, and it's just a cycle, right? New lead sources coming in, and you just work your system. And this is what it is. So anyhow, the last two, basically same thing. We went to the door, wasn't there, left something of value, right? And then the last one we hit, right? The attorney we've worked with on numerous deals, we knocked on, or no, we did knock on the door because there was a gate, right? With the dog running around. So the door was open with the screen. Finally, we're calling for the estate's name. Is so-and-so here? And who are you? Oh, how you doing? We're just showing up. Is Mr. So-and-so? No, I'm the wife. How can I help you? Well, we're just stopping by, right? We left a message. Not sure if you did receive it. And we've worked with the attorney. Oh, okay. Are you guys the attorneys? No, we're not the attorneys. Well, who are you? And then we basically said,
We explained that we handle probate real
right,
estate.
went through the whole
You've
song
heard
and
the
dance.
whole spiel, but the fact that we have a relationship with the attorney, we were able to say, yeah, you can, ask your attorney about us.
And she will.
She
and
will.
She'll size us up.
Yeah, and she'll know exactly who we are, and
Right.
the attorney will give us, raving reviews. But they're not going to be selling the house at this point.
Well, see, and that's why this whole thing is knocking doors, following up, because we obviously want to help the estate, right? That's the number one goal. If they choose and decide to sell, we want to be that option.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if they don't want to sell, let us know that. That
Yeah.
way they're off of that list and we don't have to focus and spend our energy on them. And she said, oh no, we're not selling it. Great, right? Well, here's some information. We're just stopping by. It's what we do, and that's what we want, right?
That's what we want. We want to get confirmation on which direction to go with the lead. But I want to mention this early on.
Mhm.
Like when is that that court date?
I believe it's next month
Okay.
sometime. Yep.
So there's still a month out
yeah, there's still a month. Things change.
from being able to do anything.
Right.
And here's why this is important. Right now, they're thinking they're not selling the house, not planning to.
Right.
But what ends up happening is once the PR gets approved and receives those certified letters,
Mhm.
that also triggers the next phase in the probate timeline, which is called the 4-month creditor period.
Mhm.
So this
Yep.
is where all the estate's debts are going to come to the surface. And if the administrator, if the heirs, if the family doesn't have the money, if there's not the money
Yeah,
available from
they're
the
gonna
deceased
need-
bank
need
account,
those
they
proceeds.
have to get the money from somewhere to pay these debts off.
Yep.
Then that's where they're going to realize, oh, we got to sell the house.
Well, and that's the case with the daughter and the mom answer,
Right,
because
right.
it was like, well, it's my ex-husband who passed away, and there's a lot of debt. So yes, that is what we need to do.
Right.
But they may not know that.
Right. That's that's the point
Yeah,
I'm getting
yeah,
at
right,
is that
right.
last door,
Mhm.
they're not at that point in the probate process yet
Even- right.
to have that realization of, oh crap, X amount of dollars is owed. I don't have that. It's not in
Right.
the
And that's due. It has
we
to
got to
be
pay
paid.
it.
Right.
You can't close probate without the debts being paid.
Right.
The only option is we got to sell the house.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So that was one that she let us know that was the case. So we'll put that to the side. And, when the court date does pop up, we'll basically follow up. How's it going? Just confirming. And
Anything changed? Do you,
Right.
need to sell the house now?
but it's not in the hot lead source. That's
Right.
more of the follow up and more of the drip process. But before we close and complete this podcast, also when we did knock that one door, remember the gentleman answered. We asked for so and so. He answered, yeah, kind of standoffish, and probate, blah blah blah. And he goes, my wife's a realtor.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we said, great,
Hey, that's awesome. Keep it in the family.
right?
And gave him my card and said, I'm not sure if your wife has any probate experience.
We could help.
She might. If she doesn't and she runs into some trouble, have her call me.
Yeah.
Happy to help her. I'm
Yeah.
not going to take any of her commission.
Right.
I'll just help get her through whatever stumbles she encounters
Right.
throughout the process. Or she knows exactly what she's doing and you guys are fine.
Absolutely.
But either way.
And the bottom line with this business is just come from that giving mentality, because there's tons of business, and maybe you don't get this deal, somebody else, no problem, right? Maybe the estate reaches out to you for a question, but they're using somebody else. It's always just abundance mindset and just helping. And when you come with that mindset, I mean, the business is there as we're just demonstrating kind of what we're doing, things we're getting, things we're not getting, things that are happening, right? And it's just a process, right? You just work the assembly. You just work the assembly on new leads, calls, text, door knock, hot leads, follow up, don't call. I'm not selling, and it's just an assembly line. And again, it's just another layer to your business.
Right. Exactly.
Well, we
I
did.
think that's all we got today. We just wanted to cover the road show for you.
Yep.
I guess maybe to give you a little bit of strategy.
Yep.
Is take whatever you do right now, whatever system you use to bring in, to nurture leads, to contact leads, to follow up with leads, whatever you're already doing.
Yeah.
And get yourself some probate leads.
Yeah. Try it out with your county. I mean,
even if you don't want to pay for them, we're happy to send you some leads. We're not going to charge you for them. Yep. You might not be in our area, but hey, maybe you set up phone calls for us. You still get to participate in the deal,
right?
Even if you're, in 5 other counties away from us.
State of California, wherever.
But put some probate leads into whatever system you're using right now and just start getting some motion and start getting some traction.
We're coming to the end of the year. We're all working on our 2025 business plan. So maybe it's a business plan that you want to set up and you create, you know what, let's shoot for 1 probate a month. I got 30 days. Maybe I do this 1 day a week, 30 days to try and find 1 deal. And I guarantee you, right? I don't guarantee a lot of things, but I guarantee you, if you follow this process, follow up, you're going to get a deal. Yeah. I mean, it's a numbers game. You're going to get a deal, right? It's going to happen. You just stay consistent, follow up, and the sources and the business is out.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right.
I think that's a good way to close out this episode.
Well, until next time.
Hey, I'm Gary.
I'm Ray.
This is the Probate Hero Collective.
We'll see you on the next round.
See you next time.
All right.